But now, to the battle that took place behind the scenes over those sensational allegations in Fairfax media on Friday.
Beneath the bravery, the dark secrets of our most decorated soldier.
Victoria Cross recipient, Father of the Year, Ben Roberts-Smith is one of Australia's most respected public figures. So why are so many questions being asked about his past?
Fairfax's lead story by Nick Mackenzie, Chris Masters and David Rowe, who between them have won dozens of major journalistic awards, is the result of a year-long investigation into one of Australia's heroes. But as Fairfax reported last month, it also mirrors evidence to an official Defence Force inquiry.
Australia's most decorated soldier has been entangled in an investigation into the actions of special forces in Afghanistan.
The new claims by Fairfax provide chapter and verse on what Roberts-Smith is alleged to have done, starting by breaching the rules of war.
Among the allegations made to the Inspector General's inquiry is that patrols he helped lead brutally mistreated unarmed Afghans. Roberts-Smith repeatedly smashed this guy in the cheek and kneed him in the guts. I went, whoa, 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 back off, mate.
The Fairfax story also details allegations of bullying and intimidation by Ben Roberts-Smith of soldiers under his command.
Multiple witnesses allege that Roberts-Smith castigated the trooper in front of his patrol, ordering Trooper J to stand up and then punching him in the head.
Fairfax also alleges that the Australian Father of the Year conducted a very public extramarital affair and that his lover complained to police of
an alleged act of domestic violence and intimidation.
These are damaging allegations which Roberts-Smith categorically denies, labelling them a catalogue of lies, fabrications and misrepresentations. And on the front page of Saturday's Australian, Roberts-Smith, now an executive at Channel 7, hit back.
War hero lashes his accusers.
But long before publication and an unsuccessful legal attempt on Friday to stop it appearing in print, there were attempts to kill or discredit the story, with, according to Fairfax, lawyers' letters and warnings to witnesses. This kill campaign also involved a top PR firm and an ex-60 Minutes reporter, whom Channel 9 once billed as Australia's top investigative journalist. Or so Fairfax claims.
Ross Coulthart, a former TV investigative journalist who is now a public relations consultant for a firm, Cato & Clegg, is working closely with Roberts-Smith and his lawyer on his own investigation into Fairfax Media's reporting.
According to Nick Mackenzie, Ross Coulthart told other journalists that Fairfax had got the story all wrong. Coulthart also texted the executive editor of The Age and Sydney Morning Herald, James Chessell, to assure him Roberts-Smith was innocent and to, quote, offer help.
I'm doing Mackenzie a favour by offering to help fix a looming disaster for him and the paper. I promise you, I'm not being arrogant about this.
Coulthart told Chessell he had spoken to a number of his SAS contacts who strongly disputed the allegations, and he then warned,
I have huge respect for Nick and the Sydney Morning Herald, but I do strongly believe that the paper's line on Ben Roberts-Smith is completely false and that your sources are malign or have misled themselves.
We'll see how it turns out, and it will be for the courts to decide. Roberts-Smith is now suing for defamation, and Justice Paul Brereton, heading the Defence Force inquiry, will also rule on the evidence. Meanwhile, it's a bold call for a fellow journalist to rubbish the Fairfax claims, which, according to Mackenzie, Masters and Rowe, are backed up by testimony on oath to that official inquiry. And it's even stranger for someone of Ross Coulthart's pedigree to be paid for doing it. As Mackenzie put it to Media Watch,
a person who has dedicated his career to journalism is now working against journalists.
And Chris Masters, who, like Coulthart, worked on the ABC's Four Corners, had much the same reaction.
I'm disappointed that a former colleague has sought to undermine the work of two fellow journalists engaged in an extremely difficult story.
A story, no doubt, that we will be hearing more of. The Inspector General's report is expected in a matter of months. And we saw comment from Cato & Clegg and from Ross Coulthart, who said, why would I talk to Media Watch?